So, this is a 304 AMC engine off of Jeep. It's a 1979, and I think the chain is original. What I was wondering is the gap of this one, or the tension of the chain. This is how slack it is now. I've tensioned it up so this one is as hard as it gets, and this one is as loose as it gets. And according to the manual, if you push the chain as much as you can, like this, with a sharp object, you make a mark on the block. You push it the other way, make a mark, and you measure across. I get 19 millimeters on this one, and it says on the manual if it exceeds 22 millimeters, you have to replace it. So therefore I'm thinking I'm safe, but since I tear down this much and the chain is set with the sprockets and chain is about $150 here in Sweden, I figured I'd change it and see how much the gap the new one has. The new chain is a lot thinner than the old one, but I'm hoping the gears are exactly the same, otherwise I won't have a problem. You need a puller to take the gear off, and to put it back on, I heard a couple of methods. One is to heat it up in the oven, or you can use a heat gun, and in my case I will use the LPG gas. And you heat it up as much so that when you spit on it, it will fry. You don't heat it up so that it glows, then you may deform it. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to put on a new one. I'm not going to make the video on when I put it on. It's pretty obvious. And I'm just going to show you the new chain, how much slack it is on that one. Because if I had a video on it from the beginning, and it's supposed to be like this, then I wouldn't gone through all of this trouble. So before you start to tear the gears off, you should inline them. There's a little mark here on the lower gear, and on the top gear there's a big mark. They should be exactly in line. Mine are not exactly in line, but I will change that in a second. And number one cylinder should be on top dead center. So how I did it, I turned the engine around with my thumb in the spark plug hole. When I feel the compression, that's when the cylinder number one is at top dead center. When that is at top dead center and these two marks are in line, that's where you stop. And then you take off the gears and you put it back on, the new ones, and you make sure that these two marks are aligned, and you should be good. So now the new chain is on. You can see the difference right away. It's totally, it doesn't move an inch. You add a little checkpoint here, the little dot here, between that dot and the one down here. I don't know if you see that, but there is a dot here. There's supposed to be 20 pins, and I have 20 pins. These little pins, 20 of these, and I have that, so it is correct and everything is mounted correctly. And I had to use a pulley, this pulley, and I had to, in order to get this sprocket off, I had to modify it. I had to grind it down a little bit to get it behind the chain, down here. And up here, this one can really mess up the bolt hole here. So I put on a bracket, I think it's called. I don't know. This one. So I put that on, and I didn't have this bolt on because it was too long, and it didn't sit all that hard, so it wasn't that difficult to get it off. So that's it. I turned around, it looks good. Now you just have to put all the rest of the small pieces back on. That shouldn't take long, should it? Okay,